All right, so today we're jumping into this really powerful story from the super competitive world of corporate consulting. It's all about these two friends, a huge competition that could make or break their careers, and this one single choice that, puts their loyalty to the ultimate test.
So, let's meet our main characters, Ananya and Ravi. They both work at this high-pressure firm, Vistara Consulting, and they were, like, total opposites. Ananya was all fire and flair, the brilliant brainstormer who could just pull an amazing idea out of thin air. Ravi, on the other hand, was the spreadsheet whisperer, super methodical, calm, precise. But here's the thing, their styles didn't clash at all. Nope, they actually fit together perfectly.
And for 5 whole years, their friendship was this kind of steady, quiet thing in a world that's, well, pretty loud and ambitious, where PowerPoint decks can sometimes feel more important than people. So let's kind of break down how that bond was actually built.
Okay, so they started at the firm on the very same day. And their bond, it wasn't built on these big, grand gestures. It was all about the small stuff, Those shared late-night cabs after a brutal day, the inside jokes that would just cut through all that office tension, and at the core of it, this really deep, unspoken respect for each other's work. That was their foundation.
And then, boom, the Lisbon Project. Now, you gotta understand, this wasn't just another assignment. This was the CEO's baby, a career-making opportunity. We're talking promotions, a move to Europe, a massive spotlight. It was a winner-take-all contest, and it was about to change literally everything.
And of course, here's the kicker. HR, in what they called their wisdom, decides to split them up, putting them on competing teams on purpose. Their official line, healthy rivalry improves output. But what they really did was light a fuse on a conflict that would test the very heart of their friendship. So this whole healthy rivalry thing, how'd that actually play out? Well, that easy laughter that pretty much defined their friendship, it started to disappear. Fast, as the pressure just kept building and building.
I mean, at first, they tried to play it cool, right? Anya would say, "May the best team win." And Ravi would shoot back with a grin, "You mean mine." It was a joke, but you could feel something else there. A new kind of tension, just under the surface.
And this slide, wow, it really shows you just how fast things fell apart. In only 5 weeks, they went from joking rivals to basically strangers. Day 1, they're joking around. By week 2, the smiles are kind of forced. Week 4, those supportive late-night calls, gone. By week 5, just this heavy, awkward silence in the elevator. It was like the office just didn't have room for their friendship anymore.
Okay, so this is where everything pivots. We're 3 days out from the final presentation, and a total crisis hits. And it forces a choice, a really personal one.
Yeah, for Ravi's team, it was an absolute disaster. Their whole project, the entire thing, was built on this super complex data model, and they just found a massive flaw in it. Everything was about to just crumble. And you've got the clock ticking down, just 72 hours to go. Panic is setting in. Stress is through the roof for Ravi's team. They were totally stuck, and their chances of winning? They were just evaporating by the minute.
So, Anya hears about this mess, and this is the moment the story turns. Look, let's be real. She has 0 to gain if he succeeds. In fact, his failure is her team's direct ticket to winning. So I'm asking you, what would you do? Seriously, think about it.
Then, late that night, Ravi's sitting there and his screen just lights up. Ping! It's an anonymous email.
The email is super short, right to the point. It gives him the exact solution he needs, and it even references some model he'd shown her months ago, just in a casual chat, and it's just signed with a single letter, A. Ananya had made her choice. She helped him, not for credit or for glory, but because she remembered the bond they had.
So Ravi, he doesn't even reply. He just uses the fix, and it works. Like, perfectly. Okay, so let's fast forward. It's presentation day. Both teams have made their case, and the CEO is about to pick a winner.
And the decision is in. The CEO was just blown away by the precision of Ravi's data. His team won. They got the Lisbon Project. So the room erupts in applause for Ravi, right? And the very first person to walk up and shake his hand is Ananya. And it's not a fake smile. It's this genuine, proud look. Yeah, her team lost, but her friend won.
But that big corporate win, that's not really the end of the story. The real victory happens later that night in a quiet moment away from all the celebrations.
Ravi finds her, and he just asks the one question that's been hanging in the air since he got that email. Why did you help me?
And Ananya's answer? Man, this is the heart of the whole thing.
She says, because you would have done the same for me. Look, this place, it only remembers winners. It doesn't care how they won, but I do. Right there, she just laid it all out. What mattered wasn't the corporate scoreboard. It was her own integrity. It was their friendship.
So, what's the big takeaway here? It's so easy to get caught up in the race, right? Just focusing on building your career. But this story is a powerful reminder that while talent might build your career, it's your character, your friendships, that build you.
You know, it all boils down to this one idea. True friendship. It's not a weakness in a competitive world. When it's the real deal, it doesn't just survive the pressure, it actually shines. It proves its value in the last place you'd expect, even in a boardroom.
And that kind of leaves us with one final thought. For you. Look, we're all in our own race, chasing our own goals. But as you're running, it's worth stopping for a second to ask yourself, in your race, what's the real prize?